Success is not an accident, and growth is never random. Every successful person you admire has walked through certain stages that shaped their mindset, strengthened their character, and transformed their identity. These stages are unavoidable. No matter where you come from, how poor or rich you are, or how talented you think you might be, life will guide you through these phases. The difference between ordinary people and extraordinary achievers is not luck or talent. It is how they respond to these stages. Some people break down while others break through. These 4 unavoidable stages of life determine whether you remain average or become exceptional. If you understand these stages, you will stop fearing challenges and start using the first stage of life is confusion and uncertainty. Every human being starts here. At some point in life, you feel lost. You don't know what you want. You don't know who you are. You feel pressure from society, family, and expectations. You compare yourself with others and feel behind. This stage is uncomfortable because the future looks unclear. Many people feel stuck here for years. They keep changing goals, trying different paths, and doubting themselves. But what most people fail to realize is that confusion is not a weakness, and confusion is the beginning of growth. Confusion means your old identity is breaking, and a new identity is being formed. Think about it carefully. Before every major transformation in life, there is always uncertainty. Before success comes struggle. Before clarity comes confusion. This stage forces you to question everything, your habits, your beliefs, your dreams, and your fears. Without this stage, growth would never begin. Many people try to escape confusion by choosing comfort. They settle for safe jobs, small dreams, and predictable lives. But those who succeed learn to stay strong during uncertainty. They keep moving even when the path is unclear. They trust that clarity will come through action. During this stage, life tests your patience. You might feel like nothing is working. You might try something and fail, then try something else and fail again. It may feel like you are wasting time, but in reality, you are building experience. Every failure teaches something valuable. Every mistake shapes your judgment. Every disappointment builds emotional strength. The person who refuses to quit during confusion eventually discovers direction. The person who gives up remains lost forever. The second unavoidable stage of life is struggle and hardship. Once you begin moving toward your goals, life becomes harder. This surprises many people. They believe that once they find direction, everything will become easy. But the opposite is true. When you start chasing meaningful goals, you face resistance. Problems appear, obstacles multiply. People doubt you. Resources feel limited. Time feels short. This stage is painful, but it is necessary. Struggle is the price of growth. Struggle reveals your true character. When life becomes difficult, excuses become easy. Many people quit during this stage because they expected quick success. They thought motivation alone would be enough. But real growth demands discipline. It demands consistency. It demands sacrifice. During struggle, you learn lessons that success alone can never teach. You learn patience. You learn resilience. You learn focus. You learn how to keep going even when progress feels invisible. Every successful person has gone through this stage. They faced rejection, failure, and criticism. They experienced days when nothing seemed to work. They had moments when quitting felt easier than continuing. But they understood something important. Struggle is not a sign to stop. Struggle is a sign that you are growing. Muscles grow through resistance. Minds grow through challenges. Character grows through hardship. This stage often feels lonely. People around you may not understand your dreams. They may tell you to be realistic. They may advise you to choose a safer path. Sometimes even your closest friends and family doubt your decisions. This is where inner strength becomes important. You must learn to believe in yourself even when others do not. Self-belief becomes your greatest weapon. The people who succeed in life are not those who avoid struggle. They are those who survive it. They wake up early when they feel tired. They work when they feel lazy. They continue when they feel discouraged. They stay committed when results are slow. Over time, struggle builds a powerful mindset. You become stronger than your excuses. You become tougher than your fears. The third unavoidable stage of life is transformation and discipline. After facing confusion and surviving struggle, something begins to change inside you. You become mentally stronger. You become emotionally stable. You stop reacting to every small problem. You develop discipline. This is the stage where real transformation happens. Transformation does not happen in one day. It happens through daily habits. Small actions repeated consistently create big changes. Waking up early, reading regularly, exercising, learning new skills, managing time wisely, avoiding distractions. These small habits shape a new personality. The person you used to be slowly disappears, and a stronger version of you emerges. During this stage, your mindset shifts from motivation to discipline. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. You stop waiting to feel inspired. You take action whether you feel like it or not. This is what separates serious achievers from dreamers. Dreamers talk about goals, but disciplined individuals build them. Transformation also requires letting go of old habits. You may need to leave toxic friendships. You may need to reduce entertainment. You may need to stop wasting time on social media. Growth demands sacrifice. You cannot become a new person while living. Like the old one, this stage is powerful because your confidence begins to grow. You start seeing progress. Small wins give you belief. You realize that success is not magic. Success is built through consistent effort. The more disciplined you become, the more control you gain over your life. Over time, discipline becomes part of your identity. You no longer need reminders. Hard work becomes natural. Improvement becomes automatic. Early in life, people chase success for money, status, or recognition. But true fulfillment comes from purpose. Once you grow and achieve stability, you begin to realize that life is bigger than personal success. Purpose gives direction to your efforts. It turns success into contribution. You start thinking about how your work can help others. You want to create value. You want to inspire people. You want to leave something meaningful behind. People who reach this stage understand that success without purpose feels empty. Money alone cannot bring lasting happiness. Recognition alone cannot bring peace. But when success is connected to purpose, life feels meaningful. Purpose creates lasting motivation. When you work only for yourself, quitting becomes easy. But when you work for something bigger than yourself, you become unstoppable. Purpose gives energy during difficult times. Purpose keeps you focused during distractions. This stage is where true leaders are born. Leaders are not those who control people. Leaders are those who inspire people. They share knowledge. They guide others. They help people grow. One of the biggest mistakes people make in life is believing that successful individuals had an easier journey. From the outside, success looks smooth and effortless, but behind every achievement lies years of unseen struggle. The 4 unavoidable stages of life are not separate. Events that happen once and disappear forever. Every time you grow, you re-enter confusion, face new struggles, develop deeper discipline, and discover greater purpose. Growth is not a straight line. It is a cycle that continues throughout life. The people who understand this cycle become stronger every time life challenges them. When you first enter the stage of confusion, fear often becomes your biggest obstacle. Fear of failure stops many people before they even begin. They worry about what others will think. They worry about making mistakes. They worry about losing time. But the truth is, fear is part of growth. Every meaningful step forward feels uncomfortable at first. The mind prefers safety and familiarity, even if that familiarity leads to an average life. The moment you decide to move forward, even when you feel uncertain, you begin building inner strength. You do not find the right path by thinking alone. You find it by moving forward. Action creates experience, and experience creates wisdom. Each step forward removes a little uncertainty and replaces it with understanding. As you move deeper into the stage of struggle, discipline becomes more important than motivation. Motivation is powerful, but it is temporary. There will be days when you feel inspired and energetic, but there will also be days when you feel tired and discouraged. If your success depends only on motivation, you will stop whenever motivation fades. Discipline is what keeps you moving when excitement disappears. Discipline is choosing long-term success over short-term comfort. Struggle also teaches emotional control. When life becomes difficult, emotions become intense. You may feel frustration, anger, or disappointment. Without emotional control, these feelings can destroy progress. Many people make poor decisions when they are overwhelmed by emotions. But strong individuals learn to remain calm during challenges. They focus on solutions instead of problems. They learn to respond instead of reacting. Emotional control turns obstacles into lessons instead of defeats. Another important lesson learned during struggle is responsibility. It is easy to blame circumstances for failure. Some people blame their background. Others blame the economy, their family, or bad luck. Blame feels comfortable because it removes responsibility, but growth begins when you take ownership of your life. The moment you accept responsibility is the moment you gain power. You may not control everything that happens to you, but you always control your response. Successful people do not waste energy complaining about unfair situations. Instead, they focus on what they can do next. They ask themselves powerful questions. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of asking, "Why am I unlucky?" they ask, "How can I improve?" These questions shift the mind from weakness to strength. As you continue through struggle, patience becomes essential. Modern society promotes instant results. People expect quick success and fast rewards. Social media often shows only the final results, not the long journey behind them. This creates unrealistic expectations. When progress feels slow, many people become discouraged. They think something is wrong, but slow progress is normal. Real growth takes time. Think about nature. A tree does not grow in one day. A strong building is not constructed overnight. Strength develops gradually. Each day of effort adds a small piece to the final result. The people who succeed understand the power of consistency. They keep moving forward even when results are invisible. Eventually, small improvements turn into major achievements. When you reach the stage of transformation, you begin to understand yourself better. Self-awareness becomes one of your greatest strengths. You recognize your weaknesses and work to improve them. You recognize your strengths and use them wisely. Instead of comparing yourself with others, you focus on becoming a better version of yourself. Transformation also changes the way you see failure. Earlier in life, failure may have felt painful and discouraging. But during transformation, failure becomes a teacher. Every mistake contains a lesson. Every setback provides valuable experience. Instead of feeling defeated, you feel educated. Instead of losing confidence, you gain wisdom. Another important part of transformation is developing a strong identity. Identity shapes behavior. If you see yourself as a lazy person, you will behave lazily. If you see yourself as disciplined, you will behave with discipline. Real change happens when identity changes. Instead of saying, "I want to succeed," you begin to say, "I am a person who works hard." Instead of saying, "I want to improve," you begin to say, "I am a person who grows." Identity creates consistency. When a behavior becomes part of your identity, it no longer requires effort. It becomes natural. This is why transformation is powerful. You stop forcing yourself to improve because improvement becomes part of who you are. During this stage, you also learn the value of time. Time becomes more precious than money. You realize that lost time never returns. Instead of wasting hours on meaningless activities, you begin investing time in learning and growth. You become more selective about how you spend your days. You focus on activities that bring long-term benefits instead of short-term pleasure. As transformation continues, confidence begins to grow naturally. True confidence does not come from words or positive thinking alone. It comes from evidence. Each challenge you overcome becomes proof of your strength. Each goal you achieve becomes proof of your ability. Confidence built through experience is strong and lasting. Eventually, you move deeper into the stage of purpose and impact. This stage brings a new understanding of success. You begin to realize that personal achievement is only part of the journey. At this stage, you start sharing your knowledge and experience. You guide people who are just beginning their journey. You encourage those who feel lost. You support those who struggle. Helping others reminds you of how far you have come. Purpose also creates legacy. One day everyone leaves this world, but impact remains. The knowledge you share, the people you help, and the value you create continue even after you are gone. This realization gives life deeper meaning. People who reach this stage often discover a sense of peace. They no longer chase success desperately because they understand that growth is a lifelong journey. They continue improving not because they feel incomplete, but because growth brings fulfillment. In the end, the 4 unavoidable stages of life are not barriers meant to stop you. They are stepping stones meant to elevate you. Every great achievement is built on the foundation of these stages. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who avoid difficulty. but the ones who understand the meaning behind difficulty. They recognize that confusion is preparing them for clarity. Struggle is preparing them for strength. Discipline is preparing them for mastery. And purpose is preparing them for fulfillment. Life has a way of testing every person. At times it will feel unfair. There will be moments when your efforts seem unnoticed and your progress seems slow. There will be nights when doubt enters your mind and tells you to quit. During those moments, remember that growth is often invisible before it becomes visible. Just like a seed grows underground before it appears above the surface, success develops quietly before the world can see it. The strongest people are those who keep going even when there is no immediate reward. Most people never reach their full potential because they stop too early. They experience confusion and believe they are lost forever. They experience struggle and believe success is not meant for them. They experience challenges and assume they are unlucky. But those who succeed see challenges differently. They understand that difficulty is part of the process. Instead of asking why life is hard, they ask how hardship can make them stronger. There will always be people who doubt you. Some may laugh at your dreams. Others may tell you that your goals are impossible. If you listen to every negative voice, you will never move forward. The journey of growth requires inner belief. Self-belief is not about arrogance. It is about trusting your ability to learn and improve. Even when you do not have all the answers, belief gives you the courage to continue searching. Success also requires persistence. One effort is rarely enough. One attempt rarely leads to victory. Real success is built on repeated effort. It is built on waking up again after failure and trying once more. Every attempt brings you closer to mastery. The people who achieve great things are not those who succeed immediately. They are those who refuse to stop trying. As I did. You continue through life. You will notice that each stage makes you stronger than before. The confusion that once scared you will become familiar. The struggles that once felt overwhelming will become manageable. The discipline that once felt difficult will become natural. The purpose that once seemed distant will become clear. The same challenges that once felt impossible will later feel like ordinary obstacles. One of the most powerful realizations in life is understanding that growth never truly ends. Even the most successful individuals continue evolving. Every new level brings new lessons. Every new goal brings new challenges. Growth keeps life meaningful. Without growth, life becomes repetitive and empty. You do not need to be perfect to move through these stages. Perfection is not required for success. Progress is what matters. Small improvements made consistently over time create extraordinary results. Even if you improve just a little each day, over time that improvement becomes powerful. The future is shaped by daily actions, not occasional efforts. Another important truth is that success looks different for every person. For some people, success means financial freedom. For others, success means helping their family. For some, success means building a business. For others, success means living a peaceful and meaningful life. When you understand the 4 unavoidable stages of life, fear begins to disappear. Instead of fearing confusion, you welcome learning. Instead of fearing struggle, you embrace growth. Instead of fearing discipline, you build strength. Instead of fearing responsibility, you discover purpose. Life becomes less about avoiding problems and more about becoming stronger. Every great story includes difficult chapters. No hero becomes strong without facing challenges. In the same way, your struggles are shaping your story. One day, the difficulties you face today may become the lessons that inspire others. Your journey has value not only for you, but also for the people who will learn from your experience. Imagine yourself years from now looking back at this moment. You will either feel proud that you kept going or regret that you stopped. Time moves forward no matter what you choose. The question is not whether life will change. The question is whether you will grow with it. Right now, you may be standing in one of these stages. You may feel confused about your future. You may be struggling with challenges. You may be working hard to build discipline, or you may be searching for purpose. Wherever you are, remember that this stage is temporary, but the lessons are permanent. The journey of growth begins with a simple decision, the decision not to quit. When you refuse to quit, every stage becomes a teacher. Confusion teaches direction. Struggle teaches strength. Your life is being shaped by the choices you make today. Every action you take is building the person you will become tomorrow. If you choose growth, your future will reflect strength and success. If you choose comfort, your future will reflect limitations. The power to grow already exists within you. You do not need permission to improve. You do not need perfect conditions to begin. All you need is the willingness to take the next step. Remember this simple truth. Confusion is the beginning. These 4 unavoidable stages determine all success and growth. Every strong person has walked this path, and you can walk it too. Keep moving forward. Keep learning, and keep growing. Because the best version of your life is waiting on the other side of these stages.